Hi, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via, and the date is November 21st. We're going to start in the ordinary fashion, just lying on your back, noticing your breath. Everyone can mute themselves before they go down. Just take a few minutes to come in, to bring your entire being into the room. Noticing the breath that you brought with you, not trying to change it. Noticing that you're being supported by the floor and the air around you and your breath, and the cells of your body. Spend a few minutes focusing on the point of your pituitary gland, which is behind your eye sockets in the middle, between the two, and a little bit lower than the eye sockets. A very quiet place to rest your mind and your body. Bring your hand behind your head. Interlace your fingers or stack your hands for vagus nerve reset. Vagus nerve reset, just moving your eyeballs to the right. Nothing else moves. Wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. If you're in the class and there's something we're doing you can't do, this might be something you would do instead. You could do it seated or standing or lying down. Come back to center, repeat on the other side, shifting the eyeballs to the left, waiting for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center and then repeat vagus nerve reset. 2 more sets, right, left, right, left. And when you're finished, Leave your hands where they are. And we'll move on to head ramping. Just pressing the occipital ridge, the base of the skull on the back body, into the hands, into the floor. The chin drops a little. The skull slides along the mat, away from the shoulders. And then just hold for a couple breaths and release. It's called head ramping. It has some other names too. Just repeat that 4 times. And then we're going to move into hypopressive, just a basic hypopressive, lying on your back with your heels on the floor and your toes toward the ceiling. Bring your arms up like you're going to hug a tree right in front of your chest. Flip your palms. Activate your hands and your scapula. We're going to do 3 breaths. I'm going to count those, cue those, and then we'll count to 14. Stay with your breath held out till 14 or as long as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All the way out. And hold your breath out while I count. 1, 2, no breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Inhale and exhale. Come on down. Extend your legs. Cross your right ankle over your left. Bring your arms back up. Hug a tree. And put your left hand on top of the right hand and bring your straight arms overhead by your ears. 3 breaths again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. No breath. Hold your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Inhale and exhale and switch sides. Left ankle over right, arms up and hugging a tree. This time the right hand is on top. Straighten your elbows and bring your arms overhead. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and go ahead and inhale and exhale and come out of that. We're going to do, Caitlin, can you unmute yourself? Because I want to talk to you at the same time. We're going to do some footwork, but Caitlin may not be able to do it. And so I'm going to give her an alternative. And you can see what it would be like if you had an injury and you couldn't move, how you might alter, you might change your schedule. You might even come to class and do something anyway. So that's what Caitlin says she's going to do, although she didn't unmute. So maybe she's hiding behind her picture, and she didn't put a picture up. I don't know whether she may be hiding behind her picture. We're going to do footwork, starting with the footwork with the therapy balls. This is a standing position. You could do it seated. So Caitlin could try to do this seated, or I have something else for her too that she can do. So if she declares herself, I'll tell her what that is. Go ahead and come up to standing, you guys. Kathy's going to write on the bottom of her foot.
Yeah. Okay.
Because what we do is compress the ball and hold it for 6 different locations. Do not roll. I don't believe in rolling. The first position, number 1 position, is just underneath the middle of the toe pad, the toe pads. And then in the middle of the arch, 2. And then at the end of the arch, in front of the heel, 3. And the next one is the outside of the center. So be outside of the foot, 4. And the inside of the center of the arch, 5. And then the last one is just below the big toe mound. So those are the 6 positions, everybody. And you're going to stand up with 1 ball, one plus ball. This is better, I think, with the smaller balls than the bigger ones.
I'm muted.
Oh, good.
I want to say that I'm going to try to do standing because actually sitting hurts more than standing.
Okay, well then stand with a chair beside you so that you could hold on to something if you needed to. But do it very lightly. If you may want to compress very lightly. So
Okay.
the first position, you guys. So you might not want to put all of your body weight on. Maybe you're going to figure out how to put part of your body weight on. Position number 1. Kathy's on her left foot. You can be on whichever foot, but we're going to switch in a minute. And I'm going to time this. I'm going to do 20 seconds. Hold on, I haven't gotten to the timer yet though. So you get a little bit of 20 seconds on each location with a little bonus here. This is number 1, location number 1. And just stay here and breathe and be safe. So for most people, you want to put your body weight comfortably on this. Caitlin may try to figure out how to take some of that off. Position number 2 is in the middle of the medial arch. Some people would like you to roll on these locations, and I say no, and so does a mentor of mine, Emily Splitchell. She said that it might create, the rolling might create guarding, and then you can't move, where the body will say, oh no, I have to guard my movement here. Down, straight down, just in front of the calcaneus or the heel. Press and wait and breathe. Enjoy.
You want the whole body weight to be on the ball?
Yes, unless if it's too much. No. If it's too much, use like Kathy's has her hands on the chair. You could put your hands on a chair You could reduce the weight if it's too much. That's the alternative here. The position number 4 is back to the center of the arch, but out to the outside of the foot. But unless unless it hurts somewhere, if it hurts, don't put your entire body weight on. But if it hurts, try to get some of the weight off. That's true of all wall work, therapy wall work. That's why we go to the wall sometimes instead of the floor. The next position is also in the center and to the inside. It's in position number 5, to the inside of the arch. And the last position is just underneath the big toe mound. Switch sides, everybody. The first position is just in the middle of the foot, just below the mounds of the toes. This one's a noisy one, this cat. Position number 2 is below position number 1 in the middle of the medial arch. Position number 3 is just in front of the heel, calcaneus. Position number 4 is still in the center, but to the outside of the foot. And the last one.
Oh, inside?
Oh, inside, sorry. Position number 5, inside of the foot in the middle. It takes a village to teach a class, in my opinion. Last one,
No.
just under the big toe mound. I recommend you do this for 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes every day and do this foot exercise. It would change the way you relate to the earth.
So I just wanted to let you know what I had to modify. I had to, because I can't lift up my left foot very high. I had to put my right foot on a block or a low block.
Okay.
So that I could lift the left foot up enough to put a little pressure on the ball.
Okay. Was it okay? Oh, that's very clever. Congratulations. Now, is it okay then?
It was okay. I didn't do it as long on some of them because I couldn't. But I didn't figure out the block thing until halfway through them.
Right.
You know. So yeah, it was one of those the really shallow, low,
The thinner blocks?
the really thin block.
Okay,
Anyway, that's what I had to do
okay.
for future reference.
For future reference, yes. And just to know, so everyone gets to know, you can tweak these things. You don't want to hurt yourself and tweak. Go, everyone sit down. We're going to do some seated exercises next. The first thing we're going to do is shoulders with a strap. So everyone sit on a chair with a strap. And your strap is going to be in front of you. You might double it. If it's a really long strap, you'll want to double it because you just have so much strap there. You won't know what to do with it. But you're going to put it in front of you on your knees, your hands are about hip distance apart. Now this is one I couldn't do. And there's no modification for a person in a sling with this. This is not available.
Can I do this standing up?
You can do it standing up. You can do it seated, floor seated, chair seated, or standing up. And go ahead and bring your arms out in front of you. The strap is taut, and then bring it up over your head. And when you get it over your head, then you're going to create more width there, and then bring it back behind you. So make it wider. Oh, and then there's not enough strap. Okay, so make it wider and bring your arms behind you. And stay here and breathe. This is a really nice chest opener. And then come back up. So you're going to come back, bring your strap over your head. Now you're going to have to cinch it in, which is the hardest part, actually. Cinch it in even more than that. So your arms are straight out in front of you. More than that. And bring it down. Then bring it down to your knees. Let's do that one more time, because now you're experts. Arms come up by the ears. Spread the strap. Bring your arms behind you as far as the strap. This strap provides a lot of structure for your movements here. Just stay out here and breathe and let your chest open. And then bring your strap up by your ears again. Cinch it in again, way in, all the way in. And then bring it forward again. Shoulder strap number 2 is a side bend. So you're going to bring it all the way up.
I need to readjust.
Bring your arms up. Now open your straps, open your arms, and side bend to the right. We're gonna count the side bend. Keep your hips, keep your pelvis on the chair or on the floor. Or if you're standing, just keep your hips even. And I'm timing. We're not going to bring the elbow forward when you do the straps like this. I think it's possible, but I would want to try it out, and I can't try it out for you right now. Bring yourself up, torso to central, and then other side. Side bending. This is good for the QL and good for the lower back. It's good for posture and alignment. It works on the QL, which is the twisting and side bending muscle at the waist. Actually, commonly called QL. It's really quadratus lumborum. Come back up to center. Let's do it again. Side bend. Using your strap to create some structure and stability for you. Keep your hips even. And other side. Did we finish? We didn't finish. Did we? No. Still we have one more side. Last set, last side. Side bending and spine twisting are really important movements that we don't do in ordinary life. So we have to do them. We have to interject them in our movement practice. As often as we can. Come on back up. Stay there. You can stay with your arms up high. This time, this is called shoulder flossing. And you're going to take your right arm straight up to the ceiling. Let's start with the right, Kathy, although it looks like left on the screen. So right arm straight up, and then the left arm is straight behind you. And just stay here and breathe. Shoulder flossing, not available to me right now. Not on the right anyway. Or the left because I can't hold the strap. And you can do this standing, seated, floor seated, chair seated. And then go ahead and come back up. Bring both arms up overhead. Straighten the left arm up toward the ceiling and bring the right arm behind you and down. Shoulder flossing. Come on back. Let's do this one more set. Bring your arms up. The right arm stays up toward the ceiling. The left arm goes behind you. Use the straps to create tension and stability in this pose. And just stay here and breathe. And we have one more side. Left arm straight up, right arm behind It's actually externally rotated and behind you. Maybe it's internally rotated. Oops, I can't even practice it because I don't have a sling. It rotates behind you. And come on back, release your strap. We're going to stay seated and do a figure 4 with ankle circles and then a flat back hip hinge. So bring your right knee forward towards your chest and then cross your ankle. Sit tall. Go ahead and circle your ankle. About 6 circles in one direction and 6 circles in the other direction. Please make sure you're seated tall in good posture here. And reverse. And go ahead and do a toe handshake if you can, or do anything that wiggles your toes, squeeze them, pull them, tug on them, twist them. But the toe handshake is an easy way to do that. Just spend a little time loving your toes. And now, release the toes and come forward, flat back hip hinge over your figure 4. So this is a movement where the spine stays straight like a broomstick and you're moving at the hip joint. So the spine is moving forward from the pelvis. Keep your back straight. Remember that you're in a kind of a head ramping position with your neck. You may or may not come very far forward. It will depend on a lot of different things. But what's most important is to have your back straight and your chest open. And then slowly use your hands to push yourself up and your abdominals to bring yourself up to a seated position. And switch sides. Figure 4 first. Ankle circles next. And then a toe shake. And when you're done with that, release your toes and then do a flat back hip hinge. So, and you have the figure 4. You could do this without a figure 4, but the figure 4 is a nice hip opener. And then on top of that, a flat back hip hinge. hinging forward at the hip, keeping the spine straight like a broomstick. Keep the chest open and just stay here and breathe. Get long. This should create some nice traction along the spine. Take a couple more breaths. And then using your abdominals and your arms, bring yourself up to seated. We're going to do a standing 3-point ankle stretch. Caitlin, I'd like to talk to you about whether you can do this or not. You could do this seated. That it would be less pressure on the ankle. So you're going to need your half round.
Oh, that's right. Not that.
Unless you don't have a half round, then you can use a yoga block.
A block or a brick, yes.
A brick.
You could use it.
Yeah. And you could, Caitlin, you could even do this standing and put some of your weight on the chair and see if this is something you can do. So start with your right foot, with the top of the foot on the round, the half round or the brick. And this should be a calf stretch, should feel good. And then you're going to start these ankle stretches in 3 different directions. The first is straightforward. So it's the knee follows the ankle. So don't use the knee to initiate this movement. The movement comes at the ankle. The knee comes forward because the ankle came forward. So about 6 times. If you had more time, you could do more of these at home. And then the next movement is you're still doing ankle flexion, but you're going to do it toward the inside of your foot. This is a very small movement, very small change. And 6 times. Forward flexion with a slight angle inward. Remember that the knee is not the mover. The ankle is the mover. Ankle flexion and extension. And then the last movement is similar, but it's a little bit to the outside. Did I say inside first, Kathy?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Usually I say outside first, I think, but anyway, just as long as you're doing both sides. So this time to the outside, you get the picture. There's 3 different places you're aiming at. Forward and inside and outside. Small movement. This is the smallest range of motion for most people in their ankle. I think this is, if you have ankle issues, this is one of the best things you can do for them. And if you don't strengthen your ankles, if you have an issue, a history of ankle issues, it'll just repeat itself. Very sad news. Go ahead and switch sides. So once you have an ankle injury, you're much more likely to have repetitive ankle injuries. So straightforward first. Ankle circles are really good for this, for ankles too. A lot of the footwork that we do are good for ankles. Forward, go ahead and do forward movement. Oops. So try to have the movement happening at the ankle, everybody. And about 6 times. And then the next movement is towards the inside. So it's a small, it's a flexion, it's a forward flexion, but it's also angled a little bit towards the inside of the foot. And then after you've done about 6 of those, go ahead and do the one to the outside. It's a small movement, a small shift to the outside. Okay, and go ahead and, Caitlin, did you try it sitting? Caitlin said she had trouble with her left, which is the injured side of her body, her left foot. Okay, now, before we go up to the wall, I'm going to remind you guys that if you can't have trouble with the back bend at the wall, you can do the chair. So sit on the chair, Kathy, and demonstrate the back bend at the chair. This is, as we're just going to do this for a little bit of time, just to, so the people who can't do the standing back bend at the wall could do this. So you're going to sit very tall and then sit a little bit away from the back of the chair, Kathy. Now, you have your arms be very, very straight behind you, like sticks, holding on to some part of the chair. Everyone's chair is going to be different. And see if you can find the support and you need to open your chest. The chest opens, the spine is straight. Come forward a little bit more, Kathy. Your tendency on this one is to lean back, but I want you to use your arms to push your chest forward. Straighten your arms and push forward to open the chest and drop your chin. So that is a back bend on a chair. Now you go up. Now everybody who can, stay there if you need to, but otherwise go up and stand in front of the wall. Good posture, and bring your arms up and overhead for a timed back bend. This is building bone density, among other things. This is postural. This has actually a lot of benefits. The idea is to not move your pelvis forward so that your hips, your ankles, and your knees are all still stacked. The chest is open. The chest is open, and the back is upper back is extended and bent. Just stay here, and if you can, your fingers touch the wall, that's okay. If your palms touch the wall, even better. If you can't touch the wall at all, come back to the chair. Come unravel yourself out of this, and we're going to do a spine twist at the wall. So starting with the right shoulder against the wall, the right foot forward and parallel to the wall, the left foot behind you, and actually the foot is on an angle. Bend your elbows and rotate your spine all the way. So your hips are forward, keep them forward. And then your arms have rotated the spine, the thoracic spine, in the other direction. Don't let your hips travel. to a rotated position. Just stay here and breathe. And switch, unravel yourself carefully, gently, and switch to the other side. Left shoulder in the wall, left foot forward and parallel to the wall, right foot on an angle behind you, and then rotate. Keep the hips looking forward and just stay here and breathe. You could do this in a chair. If you can't do this standing, you could do this in a chair. I'm not going to be able to cue it, but you can imagine how you could use your chair to create a twist here. Let's do one more set. Go ahead and start on the right shoulder this time. But we won't do the back bend again, I don't think. I don't think we have time. Go ahead and start with the spine twist. Right shoulder. There she goes.
You're gonna watch that foot.
Watch that foot and your back foot. You might bring it. Well, I always don't know for sure whether I'm at the right angle to coach you on that, but you might bring your foot a little closer to your front foot. It looked a little bit precarious.
I see. Okay.
One of the problems with Zoom is you can't always tell whether you're seeing things accurately.
Yeah, perspective is off.
The perspective is a little off. Well, it does allow me to have make some mistakes and blame Zoom for them. Come on back. Left shoulder is against the wall. Left foot forward. Bring the toes on your right foot a little bit farther forward, Kathy, so they're on an angle. Yeah, on an angle. Okay, now bend your elbows and bring your arms around, rotating, breathing, enjoying, I hope. And unravel yourself gently and come down to the floor on your belly, prone. Or we'll do a back extension, we'll do a thoracic release, and then maybe we'll have time for something else. Before Yoga Nidra. Maybe not, we'll see. So just lying on your belly, you may want to put a pillow under your pubic bone or under your chest or under your head. Your arms are beside your hips, palms up. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale to lift your chest, your arms, and your head. Remember, your head is in a kind of a head ramping position with the cervical spine, an extension of the entire spine. And if you're still here, you may want to lift your chest a little bit higher. And then inhale to prepare and exhale to come on down. We're going to go up again and come into airplane. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale to lift your chest, your arms, your head. And then take an inhale to prepare for airplane and an exhale to bring your arms out into airplane. And just stay here and breathe. Kind of stay as long as you can. If you're still here, you may want to lift your chest just a little higher. And then go ahead and inhale to prepare to come down, and then exhale to come down. And then come to stay on that, stay on in a prone position and bring your arms out in a T. We're going to do the thoracic release. Arms out on a T, keep your shoulders and your armpits and your hands, everything on the floor. Look to the right, lift your right leg and bring it behind you across your left leg. Your hips can come too. And just stay here and breathe. The trick is to keep, you can do anything you want with your legs and your hips. The trick is to at the same time keep your shoulders on the floor. And come on out and switch sides. And look to the left. Left leg behind, up and behind the right leg. And we're timing here, 25 seconds. And come on back. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. Find a warm, comfortable position. You may want to cover yourself with a blanket. You may want to cover your eyes with a small washcloth. Go ahead and start to pay attention to your breath. Observing the abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to wiggle and stretch your body. You can extend your legs along the mat, your arms overhead, wiggle and stretch, wiggle your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Hug your right knee into your chest and then your left. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. And whenever you're ready, roll all the way over into a fetal position using your bottom arm as a pillow. Your top arm presses into the floor to bring yourself up to seated without rounding your back. Unmute yourself. I'm going to stop the spotlight. And Kathy says, bye. Well, for now. Everyone find their comfortable floor-seated position and come into prayer pose, pressing your hands strongly into each other, just for a little bit of last-minute shoulder work. Unavailable to me, but I'm only praying with one palm. Then loosen that up and just a gentle prayer pose. Lift the occipital ridge up, head ramping, lift it up towards the ceiling so it can roll round, forward, nod forward, bowing to each other, recognizing and honoring the light in each of us, and knowing that we are all one light. We'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you, everybody. I'm going to
Thank
turn
you.
off the recording, but stay because I want to talk to you about the new class schedule.